We finally have diamonds. We should go make a museum for it. Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Minecraft Alpha series, Lakbay. My name is 134 and I hope you have a good time today. Well, as you can see on the top left of our screen, we're now in Alpha 1.1.2, which introduces a few things that we might be able to interact with. First, I heard that fishing rods are now in the game, even though we can't use them yet. There are a few more painting types now. And one thing I would really like to show off is the new mechanic, sneaking. Now, sneaking does a couple of things. First, it quietens our steps, making it a bit harder for mobs to see us or to notice us. But I think the more important and more relevant thing to us as a Minecraft player is that it lets us not drop beyond edges. When we are here, as you can see, we're not falling. And we let go, we fall. So if we can do this, then we can now a bit more easily build over edges. Now, where would this be most useful? It would be very, very useful if you can do something like this, where you can now build over an edge without risking falling over that edge. And I'm so excited about that. Now, what will we use this for? What will we use this new magical mechanic for? Well, what I really wanted to build for today is an art gallery of sorts. I know this is a bit early for that, since we're barely in the mid-game now, having gotten our first diamond, but thinking about the treasure room from our previous world, I keep thinking that I want to build something to display the items we have put into that chest. So I'm gonna make something that would be better displaying these items and properly closing this off as well. And that would also house all of the paintings that are new in this version. So we are not only able to use some of the new paintings in this new version, but also be able to display our treasures as time goes on. I'm really hoping that we are able to stay on this world for a much longer time, but we'll see. Which reminds me, I do need to replace the iron pick, our first iron pick, because we put it as part of our treasure last episode. Just do that as well. Now, where will we put our museum? I'm thinking of using this as our big intersection and move towards this direction over here. We'll be lighting up some of this area over here, light this up, and we will have a big building somewhere around here that would extend higher up, or maybe even extend downward towards the ocean over here. Now, using this as an intersection, we can move along this way and start figuring out where we want the building itself to be. Definitely want it to be a bit farther than that. And then we'll possibly be moving in this direction as well. I want it to be somewhere over here, so we'll be moving it a bit farther than that. We'll also be including a bit of a diagonal as well after we move a bit further here. Now, you might have noticed I'm not counting my steps at all. I really like the idea of the layout just coming organically. Like, some of it is planned, but most of it isn't. I actually quite enjoy that idea, to be honest. Now, from here, I'm gonna continue that way, but I also see this bridge over here, and I'm thinking I would do something similar to that, where I would be going over here and having a little staircase up that would connect to a staircase from here to go even higher up before going in that direction. I really like that idea of having multiple elevation changes in my base, so I'm gonna connect it to that first. That seems like just about the right length for what you want the pathway to be to our museum, and I'm thinking that the layout will be something like this. where we have an entrance way over here that goes into two hallways to the left and the right. Now, I've been wanting to use a lot of rectangular things, but also give myself space to it not just be one big rectangle. I still want all of that orthogonalness, but not have it be just like a 3x3 square, for example. That would also let me be a bit more creative with how I want the decoration to be for this structure. So this is the size we're going for each square of our art gallery slash museum slash whatever we're trying to do here. So I have here an outer ring or an outer square, here an inner square for the building itself. I'm thinking that this in between section would be covered with dirt and later on grass. So I will definitely need to figure out how to transfer some grass from over there perhaps to over here. All I know is that for this version, it will have to be like the slow spread of dirt all the way over there. I don't even know if I do have enough dirt. I guess I'll find out soon enough. Now this intersection building area here would definitely be covered in wool. I want that to be the walls and floor and ceiling of this main gallery area, just because I think of that as the most museum-like of the blocks currently available to us. That and perhaps stone slabs perhaps would also work, but I likely won't use wood or cobblestone for that. So let's pick up some of those. You only have that much wool, unfortunately, so we'll have to figure that out. Then let's get this as well. Then let's get our dirt as well. Maybe those two. Okay. Place the chest over here just to store some of the extra items we'll be using. Probably putting a lot more cobblestone here as well as we keep building. I've put all of the dirt on the outer ring there and some of the wall as well. And I realize I should probably start this grass staircase or this dirt staircase. I would hopefully turn into grass eventually, so that we could eventually, once again, cover the outer ring in grass. It's probably gonna take a while because grass doesn't grow all that quickly, but grass would be much better than just dirt on that ring over there. We're gonna jump over here, then do this. So hopefully, eventually, the grass would spread up that staircase, over this bridge, down this staircase, onto our ring. Started with the wall as well over here, and I really don't know whether this border would look good, or even if I have enough wall, but I guess we'll find out eventually. We still have time to adjust. Look at that. It took a few minutes, but we finally have our first grass block climbing up. That's probably gonna take quite a while. I'm almost starting to think of making something here in the middle while we wait for all that grass to grow. I've been working on the floor here, and I realize I have a couple of problems with this current design where it's all wool. One is that, well, I just don't have enough wool to finish the whole floor. And the second, which I think is a bigger problem, is that I'm not sure I want the white to be the floor. I'm thinking I want it to be the walls, maybe even the ceiling. So I'll have to think of a different floor. And the first thing that came to mind is sort of a tile floor. And to do that, I'm thinking of using these stone slabs and regular stone and have that be in a sort of checkerboard pattern here. I think it's subtle enough and it's still sticks with that monochrome aesthetic that we're going for here. But as we take down all of this wool, it's all gonna fall into the water. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna go a bit crazy and make a stone platform underneath this floor here to catch all of the wool. It's a bit weird, but I would rather build something out of cobblestone underneath, go through that kind of trouble than dive underneath the water for all my wool. Platform here in the bottom. Hopefully that helps, but I really don't know. No way to find out, but to try it. We have now taken out the wool, and now it is time to think about the floor plan for this thing, or at least the shape of this building. The more I look at this space, even though the plot is square, I keep thinking that I shouldn't make it square. So I'm gonna try out some designs and show you what happens next. So I've tried a couple of things here. This might be the layout I'm ending up with. I like these cutouts on the corners here. I've been trying out some designs for the floor. This doesn't look as good as I want to at night or indoors, so I might try out some other things, but I'll try finishing up the floor with that one instead of this one. Having the stone next to the wall seems a bit off to me, so let's continue with these walls and that floor then. So, our floor is now installed, and this took a lot more stone, a lot more cobblestone than I anticipated, especially since these full blocks made of slabs take 2 cobblestone, so I have very little left here. I will need to mine some more in order to finish this. But now I think it is time to think about how we're gonna do our exhibits.